everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name's Raylene Lilly and I'm so happy to have you here. If you're visiting, thank you for coming back. It means a lot to me. So today's video, we are going to be having the battle of the drugstore foundation style video. This came about because, of course, the Maybelline Dream Cushion Foundation came out and everybody was just like, oh my god, a cushion foundation at the drugstore. And you know, it kind of just made me think, hey, there was already a couple more of those out. I wonder how those are, because honestly, I had never tried cushion foundations out. I'm just so like full coverage, you know? And I got curious, so I wanted to see how the Maybelline compared to the other oldie but goodie cushion foundations at the drugstore, because I have heard a lot of good things about them. So let's see how it can stand up. If you guys want to know which one of these cushion foundations is for you, just keep on watching. First of all, you guys, I totally am getting over a cold right now, so if I sound a little nasally and annoying, I'm sorry. I hope it's not distracting. Let's just jump right in. The first one that I'm going to be talking about is probably the one that I knew the least about, and it is the Physicians Formula Cushion Foundation. This has a nice pretty blue packaging, and you open it up, and if you didn't know what these look like, they're just, you know, a regular style cushion foundation, and it is pretty much like a sponge texture. Going into the product itself, this was a $12.74, and keep in mind I'm going off prices at the same store. I got these all at Target, so that's what I'm going off of. The prices may vary a little bit, but they're going to be just a couple cents off, hopefully. So I'm going to start out with the pros of this foundation, and it was such good coverage for a cushion foundation, you guys. Like, I was not expecting that. You know, when you think cushion, you think like dewy and minimalistic kind of thing, which in a way it is, but in the best possible way for at least my preferences, because girl, I got some stuff to cover up, so I don't want to put foundation on and you can still see all my imperfections. I think it's kind of pointless sometimes. This was the best of both worlds because it gives you a really nice glowy perfection while covering up those, you know, problem areas. The other really cool thing about it is when I went in and layered it a second time, it actually minimized my pores, which was really interesting, and I absolutely loved that. For those reasons, I will definitely be picking this foundation up again and probably grabbing for it time to time. The cons about this though is this comes in 3 shades. Like, what? And I know that Physicians Formula is kind of known for this, and people have been, you know, come on Physicians Formula, we love you, but there's more than 3 skin tones in the world. I'm definitely deducting points for that because not everybody can use it, and you know, people that are fairer than me or have a deeper skin tone can't even try this out, and that's really disappointing. The other thing is this only comes with, let's see, 0.47 fluid ounces, so it has the least amount of product out of all 3 of the drugstore cushion foundations that I'm going to be talking about. I guess we'll save the most exciting for last and move on to the L'Oreal Lumi Cushion Foundation. The L'Oreal Lumi is the most expensive, coming in at $14.99. That's kind of up there for a drugstore foundation in my opinion. It does come with 0.51 fluid ounces, and I guess I'll start out with the pros of this too. So the pros of it were, it was easy to blend, and that was about it. I really didn't like this, you guys, which sucked because I have heard so many great things about this foundation. yeah, it just was really disappointing. And I'm usually not this turned off by a foundation. Like, it was a really bad experience. First of all, the finish on it wasn't glowy, it was wet. It was just wet, it was streaky, it brought out texture because of that. And then also, as it was sitting on my skin a little bit more and a little bit more, it started oxidizing on me. So I got to be a nice shade of orange there for a little while. And yeah, it just didn't do good. This one only lasted for almost 3 hours, you guys. It was bad. And you know, I forgot to tell you how much the Physicians Formula one lasted for. That lasted for over 5 hours, which I thought was phenomenal for a cushion foundation. But because this formula is so wet, it was a mess. And when you go to set it, you know, it started separating on me because as soon as you put powder on it, it being the consistency it just didn't want to take the powder. So it started to separate and get gunky and gross. And I'm not going to go on and on about it because I hate being this negative about a product, but moving on to better things. The Dream Cushion Foundation by Maybelline. This little booger comes in at $12.99. It also has 0.51 fluid ounces, seeming as kind of an average thing for cushion foundations, but definitely not as much as your normal liquid foundation. This has, you know, like an average shade range. I think it had, I want to say 5 different shades. I think so. 5 or 6 sounds right. And you know, this was an alright shade match for me. Me being fair, you know, I expect to not always find my shade. But yeah, I know there's a lot of girls out there that are much more fair than me, and I know that goes on the other end of the spectrum with, I think, people with a darker skin tone would have a hard time finding a shade. Not as bad as the Physicians Formula, but the L'Oreal Lumi Cushion is fantastic shade range. Yeah, L'Oreal's known for having abundance of shades. It's fantastic. But yeah, I think I forgot to mention that because I was so caught up in my spiel, sorry. That's another pro. This was really blendable. It had a nice glowy finish. It wasn't too wet, but it was very glowy. So if you have an oily complexion, I think that this might be a little too glowy on you. But it did have a very nice finish. I would say a light to medium coverage. So you did get somewhat of coverage in there, but it wasn't anything, you know, overdone or, you know, that nice full coverage kind of feeling. Even a strong medium. It was very natural. This lasted about 4 hours without any touch-ups, and it didn't exaggerate any fine lines or pores, but it didn't exactly help cover them up either. I keep holding them upside down. I'm like, it's really hard. I mean, obviously, you know, I'm not going to be saying that it's really hard to choose between them because the Lumi Cushion Foundation was a very low runner in this race. But it was kind of hard to choose my favorite between Physicians Formula and the Maybelline Dream Cushion because, you know, on one hand, Physician Formula is, a lot of people can't even try it because they don't have their shade, and then the Dream Cushion Foundation doesn't have as good of a finish and coverage in my opinion. The thing that is really selling me on the Physicians Formula one though is that it did cover up my pores. It minimized them and it gave such a flawless finish to my face. That's the one that I chose to wear today. So you can kind of see that it's giving me a nice glowy finish, but you know, it's not too overdone looking. whereas the Maybelline one was all about natural, and you could definitely still see my blemishes coming through. So I think that it's really going to come down to preference, you guys. I think the one that I would choose for everyone would be the Maybelline Dream Cushion Foundation, because you know, there's a few more shades, so you can actually try it. But I definitely love the Physician Formula better. Yeah, oh my god, it's at a tie. Did I really just do this to you guys? Yeah, I guess I did. Like I said, you know, it's all about what you want, I guess. So that's very diplomatic, and I don't know. I wish I was more helpful, but honestly, I really like both of them, so I guess that's a good thing because it gives you choices. Another thing I wanted to throw out there was when Maybelline launched their Dream Cushion Foundation, they came out with a few other things, including the Dream Illuminating Corrector. This is a concealer. It's like a roll-up ball style, and I really didn't like this for what I thought it would be nice for, mainly because it was super wet. I think that this would be really great for natural days, you know, where you just want to slap a concealer on over a few imperfections and kind of hit the road. Oh my god, I just dropped it. When I was testing it out, it didn't wear very well because of the consistency, and I again had that problem where when I went to go set it with powder, it just wanted to like separate on me because it was so wet. I think that you would have to use a very light powder with a very light hand, but I don't think it would be long lasting that way. Again, this would just be great for those days where you just want to run out the door and not do anything fancy. I guess I could try it out with highlighting, but when I tried to use it underneath my eye area, it was a disaster. Like, I have problems with creasing as it is, and I knew it was just gonna crease on me, girl, and it did. Oof. I had to redo my foundation, but yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know about this because I would pass on this. It's not worth it. Like, definitely go for the foundation if you want to try something from this line instead. Real quick before I leave, another thing I wanted to throw out there was I used a Carity brush to apply all of these foundations on the clips that I showed you. It's the Carity F30, and this is such a good foundation brush, you guys, and it's really affordable. I definitely suggest checking out the Carity brand. I know this sounds really hokey, but they're really good. I picked up this and their matte palette. Seriously enjoyed it. I just feel like when I find something this good, I should tell you about them, so I kind of wanted to just sneak this in here because it did apply the cushion foundations like a dream. I really hope that this was helpful, that, you know, I was actually able to be along with you making that decision of if you want to try one of these and also which one might be for you. If you guys enjoyed this video and you want to see more foundation reviews like this, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, you guys. I also hope that you guys will subscribe before you leave so you can see all of my videos as soon as they come out. Wishing everybody such a beautiful day. I love you guys so, so much. Bye, you guys.